Hey girl, if you're watching this, then I know your number one question is probably like, girl, where you been? It's been 3 weeks. Like, what is going on? So I'm here to talk about it as well as kind of give you guys some updates on what's going on behind the scenes, what I'm doing with my channel, like just different things like that in my business. So if you are new here, then hey girl, welcome to my channel. Of course, I'm Lashawnda Smith. I'm a content creator and content strategist. And so because I'm a content strategist and I'm such a big advocate for helping people start their YouTube channels for their business, it's really big when I go MIA for 3 weeks, essentially. At least it is for me. So I want to talk about it. So the first reason why I have not been able to post on YouTube at the capacity that I would like to, it definitely was not intentional. It was like the first week went by and I was like, okay, it's not a big deal. I'll get to it the next week. And then it just 3 weeks later, here we are. The major reason why I was not able to post on my own YouTube channel is because I did this event called Creators Weekend. If you came to Creators Weekend, then thank you so much for coming to the event. This was my first time doing this event. It was a 3-day event just for women creators who were starting on YouTube and just needed some beginner tips and things like that. What I didn't realize is that whenever I put on Creators Weekend, that it was going to take a lot more effort and time for me to put that together than I anticipated. And because of that, I literally did not have the time to record YouTube content to go out on my own channel. But I was like, oh, it's not a big deal. I'll be able to, kind of do it the following week or whatever. Also, the week of Creators Weekend, I started feeling sick, like I was catching a cold. My fiance had just got sick. He was out for 4 days. And right when he was getting better, I started feeling it. So if you were on my Facebook, you saw me posting like, hey, what can I take to like hurry up and get rid of this cold that I feel coming on? So that I didn't never fully get sick, but that did throw off my content creation journey because for a few days I was really sounding like a man, like my voice was really, really out of it. So that messed me up for that content creation week. And I'm like, I can't record sounding like this, like da 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 da. And then after Creators Weekend, I just was out of capacity. Like I mentally was drained from doing that event. And that's not even including the fact that during Creators Weekend, that was a launch of my YouTube Launch Academy. And I was just behind the scenes trying to get everything together, trying to make sure everything was finished in time. And so by the time I finished Creators Weekend and doing my pitch, which I really felt like I didn't even really get the time to prepare my pitch like I would have for the YouTube Launch Academy, I was drained. I was drained and I was exhausted and I felt so bad because I'm like, dang, here you are launching your first signature offer and you don't even have the capacity now to push the offer. So I definitely learned from that because I've never actually done that before. Normally I will create an offer, but I don't do it in the way that I did it this time. So I called myself going to try something new and do what they call a sales event. So the Creators Weekend was my sales event because I'm trying to get away from like the old way that I was doing, my different programs and like trying to get away from one-on-ones and sales calls and things like that. So I wanted to test out doing a sales event. But I want to be ambitious and do a 3-day sales event because why not, Shonda? Why not overcomplicate something that could be a little bit more simple, right? Leave it to me. But I didn't realize that it was going to take the amount of effort that it took. And so it did not, for me mentally, that was not something that I want to do in the future when it comes to preparing your new offer and then doing a new sales event that you've never done before. So that's like one of the main reasons why I have been kind of MIA from my channel. I just literally hadn't had the capacity to sit down and record. That's just what it comes down to. But what I will say is that my channel has been performing really well. And I want to bring this up because I feel that I push YouTube so much. And if I was at the beginning stages of building my channel, then my channel probably would have just completely plummeted. It would have just stopped getting views. I would have stopped getting subscribers. like everything would have just been dead, because when I stopped posting when I first got my job back in October, everything went down in reference to my views, my subscribers, like all of that during that time. And it wasn't until I could get back up to posting twice a week that I started seeing good numbers on my channel. Well, this time around, I'm on almost week 3 of not posting any content, and I'm still hitting numbers. Like, I'm still growing. I want to say within like the last week or so, I've gained almost 100 YouTube subscribers just from the last week. And so as I'm seeing these numbers that I'm hitting, I'm just like, and my views are still doing really good. I'm still getting comments on my YouTube channel. And I'm like, okay, at least I know that I've built out a library of content to the point where if I did need to take a break, whether it be 3 weeks or whatever, my channel is still going to perform well. And I have not gotten monetized yet. I have been able to get into the YouTube partner program, which is like technically you getting monetized, but not yet. So I hit 3,000 YouTube subscribers, I want to say like maybe a week or 2 ago. And now I have unlocked memberships, super chats, and it's like something else that you unlock when you do that. But you still need 4,000 YouTube watch hours in order to fully get monetized through like ad revenue. And it kind of sucks because I'm like, dang, my original goal was to hit 4,000 watch hours in January. And I really feel like I shot myself in the foot by not posting during January, really. I mean, because we're in February now and it's been 3 weeks. So I would have hit my goal if I would have like just kept going. But it is what it is. I said I already have my YouTube videos planned out. I planned out a lot of YouTube videos and I've scripted my YouTube videos. So I'm going to be doing a lot of video recording today. I'm going to get a lot of it recorded. But at least I know now, I'm just like, I'm at the capacity again. I've kind of had some time to reflect, do some things, but I am switching up my content a little bit. So let's talk about it. Before, I've been doing a lot of how-to content, searchable content, things like that. And that's something that I always recommend when you're first starting your YouTube journey. Like, you need to build out your content library so that when people stumble on your channel, they have multiple videos that they can watch on the topic that they're interested in. And so I've been focused on creating searchable content. I've been in the process of building my channel based off of becoming an advocate and I don't want to say guru because I don't like using that term, but I want to be the go-to person that you go to when you are trying to get YouTube tips and learn more about YouTube, how to start your YouTube channel. So I built a lot of content around those categories so that people can find me in search, or even if they're on the homepage, if it has anything to do with YouTube and they're interested, they're going to know that that's what my content is about. Well, now that I've done that, I'm ready to kind of switch it up just a little bit and start trying or testing out some different topics. So what I'm going to be doing now is actually testing out different types of thumbnails. I'm going to be testing out different types of just different titles that are not necessarily searchable, but that are intriguing when you come across them on your home feed. And I got my notes right here just to make sure I'm not missing anything. And I'm also going to be testing out unlisted videos. So I'll kind of circle back to that. But the reason why I want to start testing out thumbnails and I want to start testing out different types of video titles is because I have noticed when I was doing my research on thumbnails when I was preparing for Creators Weekend that there are some thumbnails where I was just like, okay, these videos are doing really, really well, but the thumbnails are not necessarily clickable. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but like I saw a couple channels where they have thumbnails where they don't even have words on their thumbnails, and it's almost like a screen grab, but they like polished it up a little bit so that it doesn't look like a screen grab. And although I wouldn't recommend someone do this from the beginning, it looks like they started off with doing clickable thumbnails, and then as they built up their subscribers, they kind of started playing around with like the still shot of them, but not putting any words. And the videos are performing well. And I noticed that the titles are very enticing to get you to click. So I definitely want to play around with that now that my channel is kind of hitting certain numbers. I would not advise you do this at the beginning stages, because you have to try to entice people to click, especially at the beginning stages when you're trying to get them to click on it and search and things. But I want to test it out so that I can have my own research on how these thumbnails do in comparison to the clickable thumbnails, if that makes sense. So I am going to play around with that. And I'm telling you that because when I'm giving out this information, I'm giving out tips about what you need to do as a new YouTuber or a YouTube creator. I don't want you to see what I'm doing on my channel and be like, oh, she's doing it, let me do it. Just know that this channel is going to have a lot of testing periods going on. I'm going to be testing out, does this work versus does this work? And just, just different things. So do what I say, don't do what I do, okay? But just know that as I'm testing things out, I'm going to take you guys behind the scenes to show you what results I got or what results I didn't get. Because I'm very curious with having different thumbnail styles and having different types of titles that entice you in different ways. So I'm glad that I have built up my channel to a point where I can kind of play around with those type of things to see what works and what doesn't. Also, going back to the unlisted series. So I have been trying to figure out the best way to grow my email list, because that's one of the things that I said I want to really do going into this year, especially first quarter. I have grown my email list I've had a solid plan for a good little minute in reference to testing out how to grow my email list. But now I want to really make sure that I am growing my email list with something that makes sense for my business model. Because I don't know about you, but I just don't want to create a free checklist or a free guide or like the typical things that you see as a lead magnet or a lead generator. I feel like people are just burned out from doing those type of things. And so I'm trying to do something different. So one of the things that I'm going to test out on this channel is doing a free offer that is an unlisted video series. So I have seen people do video series on their YouTube channel, and I actually really love video series if they're done properly. But what I want to do is I want to have a video on here. I'm giving y'all the tea, okay? Because y'all going to see this soon, because this is in my content batching that I'm about to be recording. But I'm going to record one video that is going to be the beginning of a series. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to test out to tell everyone that watches that video to sign up to get the remainder of the videos for that series. So that way I don't have all of those videos necessarily public on my channel. It's something that you have to opt in for and see if I can use that as a way to build my email list. I'm going to test it out and see. So I will upload the videos to YouTube, but they will be unlisted. I will have the first one listed as public, and then you have to sign up to get the other 3 videos or whatever, but it'll be free. So I'm just like, that way I can still use my YouTube channel. I'm creating video content. I don't have to worry about creating no guide and like all this other stuff that people love to do. I don't have to do any of that. So that's the stuff that I'm going to be doing when I change up my content. I'm also going to be changing up how I talk about YouTube on here. And it's kind of hard to explain, but you'll see it once I start posting those videos. So I'm really excited to do that as well. Another thing that I'm going to be doing moving into February is learning how to focus more on my brand planner content. As you know, I just released 2 new planners, the YouTube content planner and the podcast content planner. And ever since I've launched it, don't get me wrong, I've promoted it here and there, but I haven't necessarily come up with a marketing plan for my planners, like an ongoing marketing plan. So the main thing that I'm doing is I created a list of different videos that's marketing my YouTube planners. And as my channel grows, I know that I will bring in more sales from those videos. So I already have certain seeds planted on my channel to market my YouTube content planner and like the podcast planner, but I want to do more. And so I've been thinking about like, what are the best ways to market this planner without the need for running ads? I do not want to have to run ads if I don't have to, maybe like later on down the line. But I want to kind of play around with different things that I can do to market my planners this time around. So because I was doing Creators Weekend, I had like my signature offer that I was wanting to work on. I just figured after I got that together, I would circle back to how I'm going to market my planners, because I do want to build a big planner company. So because that's my goal, I'm like, you need to make sure that you take the time while your channel is growing to come up with a marketing plan for you to start implementing on a daily basis until your YouTube channel really takes off and, you know, your videos start getting people purchasing your planners on a day-to-day basis that is more consistent. So a couple things that I wrote down is I want to play around with threads. If you're not following me on threads, girl, what is you doing? Follow me on threads at I am Lashawnda is going to be in the description box. That is one of the platforms that I'm primarily active on. That is like the easiest way for you to stay connected with me at this point. I'm not doing Instagram. Threads is my Instagram, if that makes sense. But I'm curious to how promoting my planners will do on that platform. I haven't really seen a lot of product promotion over there, so it's kind of like hard to turn that into a marketing strategy because it will really be a test to see how that performs. What I have noticed is that if you do videos that's like 5 seconds or less, maybe even 10 seconds or less, those tend to entice people. But one thing that I have noticed is that videos do not really do the best on threads. And I actually like that. I like the fact that it is a more written platform. It's almost like it's a whole nother platform that you have to kind of learn what works and what doesn't work. But what I have noticed is that Threads has grown my YouTube channel. Threads has got me in front of people who are my target audience. And so I just want to kind of play around with my planners over there and just kind of see what happens. Also, and I hate to say this, but it really is a part of the thing that I'm going to test. And I am thinking about testing out YouTube Shorts. And y'all know how I feel about shorts. So for me to say that, let me explain, okay? YouTube Shorts, I will be honest, YouTube Shorts will help you produce numbers. It does give you a lot of organic reach, but I'm not doing it the way that you would think that I'm going to be doing it. For one, I am not putting shorts on this YouTube channel, at least not anytime soon. I'm just not willing to take the risk. I've seen people go viral from posting their YouTube shorts. And don't get me wrong, you can gain subscribers from YouTube shorts. You can get a lot of views from that. I just don't desire to market to the audience that prefer YouTube Shorts on this channel. I want to market to people who prefer long form content, and that's how I want to build my subscriber base on this channel. But I do want to test out YouTube Shorts. So what my plan is, I'm going to use my Brand Planners YouTube channel because I do have a channel for brand planners. And what I'm thinking I'm going to do is maybe build out that YouTube channel solely off of shorts for my planners. At least that's what I'm thinking. I think that if I do it this way, this will give me insider data on how YouTube Shorts perform, for one. And then two, it's not attached to this channel. So it won't, like, if I grow my Brand Planners account from Shorts, I don't plan on putting long form videos on there. So I'm still targeting one specific audience over there versus me splitting my target on this channel and posting some shorts on my planners and then having a spike of subscribers over here, but the subscribers versus the viewers of my long form videos don't match up. For me, I just don't like that. That's just me. Like, I don't want to have 20,000 YouTube subscribers on this channel, but I'm only getting 500 views on my videos. Like, I just don't want that. So I would rather have my shorts be a completely separate channel, at least for now, especially because I'm only going to be doing short form for my planner specifically. So I think I am going to play around with that for the planners. And I just want to find different ways to promote my planners outside of my YouTube channel. I'm going to have my videos on here. I'm still post different YouTube videos on brand planners here, but it's one of those things where you have to continue to water it before it starts to blossom and take off. So these are the things that I'm going to be doing while I'm kind of waiting on this to blossom. So the last thing I want to kind of mention in reference to where I am is with podcasting. And so as you can see in this video, I am using my mic because, for one, where we live, we have so many cars come back and forth up on our road. And it's very weird because, like, even the other day, I was planning to record content and I ended up not recording because literally 4 18-wheelers came up our road. And I'm thinking to myself, why are you on a back street? Like, why are you on a neighborhood road? But it's like stupid stuff like that happens on this road. And I can hear, I don't know if you guys have ever heard like cars or something like that going by, or an airplane going over. This is a really loud neighborhood for some reason. So, but that's just one reason why I'm using the mic. The second reason is because podcasting has been pulling at me. It has been pulling at me. I have been wanting to record podcast episodes. As you know, I just ended my podcast until further notice, until I can do the rebrand or whatever. But I just really want to get back into podcasting. But the reason why I haven't been really pushing my podcast is because I've been hyper focused on my YouTube channel. And I have learned that I can't do multiple things because something's going to fall off. Even the fact that it's taken me 3 weeks to get here. If you haven't noticed, I did release a podcast episode for ending my podcast a couple weeks ago. And we also released 2 couples podcast videos on my Lashawnda and Michael channel. And anytime I separate or lose focus of one thing, something falls through the cracks. And as you can see, because I posted on the couples channel 2 times and then I posted on my podcast channel once, things fell through the cracks. Like, I've been missing from over here for 3 weeks. So it's just like, I've learned that I can't do all of those things at one time. But one thing that I am thinking about playing around with my podcast is creating a private podcast. And basically what that means is you can either do a free one where they sign in or they opt in, almost like a lead magnet, and you give them access to a private podcast that is not available unless you opt in for it. So it's not publicly available. You literally have to opt in to get it. I really like that idea. I might make a whole episode, or not an episode, I might make a whole YouTube video on that after I kind of play around with it. But they also have the private podcast where you have to pay in order to access it. And I think that that's going to become a lot more popular once people get whiff of that being a thing. And I can really understand why that's such a great idea, because a lot of people are struggling to finish courses. They're struggling to sit down and watch presentation, webinars, or all these other things. And so being able to listen to the information and having a paywall in order to even get it, I think for someone that is an educator, I think that that is a really good tool to be able to offer to your audience. And then as a consumer, I think that that's a really great alternative from courses to be able to consume the information while you're living life, like while you're driving or cooking dinner or whatever. And I think that people are just so busy, they don't have the time to sit and watch webinars and courses and things like that at the capacity that people used to have done. So I'm really entertaining the private podcast as a part of my email marketing strategy, as a way of kind of using that as one of my signature offers as well. As I told you, it's a lot going on behind the scenes, y'all. So that's what's new. That's what's going on. You guys are going to see some differences on this channel, but I hope that this video was helpful, gave you some updates on what's going on. And the whole reason that I'm doing this and playing around with things is because I am very big on wanting to create a business model that I love. And so I don't want to entertain things that does not bring me joy, things that feels like a hindrance or feels like a struggle. And that's part of the reasons why with Creators Weekend, I'm like, okay, I'm glad I did it, because I'm probably not going to do it in the way that I did it again in the future, because that was not, it was enjoyable in the moment. Like once I was actually presenting and, you know, actually hosting the Creators Weekend, but the behind the scenes was absolutely just a lot. And I'm like, moving forward, I need to make sure that I do, if I'm going to do something like this, for one, it's going to be paid. I will not do that kind of event again for free. But two, make sure that you give yourself the time that you need to create it into the business model that you want. So if you've made it this far in the video, I want to do something that I was inspired to do by Cameron Monet. At the end of her video, she always tell you an affirmation to leave in the comments. So girl, I'm gonna kind of bite off you a little bit with that. Put in the comments, if you made it to the end, that I am creating a business model that I enjoy. And until next time, I'll see you in a future video.